January 20th, 2020. My words in her mouth. This is an airbrushed photo by Adam Jones in the 2015 article that he did of Jamie, Windsong, and me. Yesterday was a weird juxtaposition where I heard a podcast interviewing National Geographic reporter Sharon Geinup, where it sounded like she was reading her words from my emails and web pages here, and I gave the link to the podcast, and getting a book, actually getting cases of the coffee table styled photo book called Home at Last, Animal Sanctuaries in America by Paige Rents, where I was amazed that she could manage to take what I said and add enough of her own interpretation that it didn't sound anything like me. It was okay, just not how I would say anything. The book appears to have been self-published by HSUS, and I can't find it anywhere online. She ended up covering PAWS, Wild Animal Sanctuary, Wolf Haven, Return to Freedom, Project Chimps, Black Beauty, The Elephant Sanctuary, Save the Chimps, Jungle Friends, Center for Great Apes, and us. I wrote Center for Great Apes. She gave us 16 pages of really nice photos by Adam Jones. Just last week, I got a book in the mail from the author, Linda Gottwald, called Once Upon a Shelter. She did a story about a serval named Servie we rescued in Marathon, Florida, and I wouldn't have known it was our cat, given her version of what happened. You roll the dice every time you talk to someone who wants to share your story. I expect the coming days will be full of that, since Joe Exotic's sentencing hearing in Oklahoma City will be 2 days from now. I will have recorded my statement, will provide it as text online, and I'll still be misquoted, or will have reporters coloring what I say to fit their own stories in their heads. It's just how it goes. Yesterday, one of the tour guests peeled off from the group and chased me down to tell me that she's Alex Sink's something or other, coach, assistant, I'm not sure. Sink was the chief financial officer for the state of Florida and treasurer on the Board of Trustees of the Florida State Board of Administration. She was the Democratic nominee for governor of Florida and faced Republican nominee Rick Scott in the 2010 Florida gubernatorial election, losing to Scott by a 1% margin. She was there with a couple of guests, so I asked her to come see what we are doing in virtual reality. She was so impressed. She said there was a woman I had to meet, so this morning I got this email from her. It was lovely finally meeting you today, and thank you for sharing the new virtual reality project with us. Before I make the email introduction to Corinne Hosington, I want to be sure I have the right email address. I've added some info about Corinne below. I think it would be great for her to use some of the Big Cat Rescue VR in her sessions. Fingers crossed. Corinne Hosington is a full-time professor of information systems technology at Central Virginia Community College in Lynchburg, Virginia, and a dual enrollment high school instructor. Corinne is a thought leader and curriculum specialist in North America for virtual reality. Corinne believes that VR and AR are game changers in education today. The pedagogies of constructivism and immersive learning show that students learn best by doing or by being. So they shouldn't just read about history, they should be historians. They shouldn't just study archaeology, they should be archaeologists. Let's raise the next round of inventors through discovery of a 3D world. Corinne travels over 200,000 miles a year, delivering keynote addresses to college and university professors and kindergartner through 12th educators in over 70 cities worldwide for customers such as Microsoft Corporation, Microsoft Camp 21 international events, Cengage Learning, Capital One International Bank, Executive Live 2017 in London, and International South by Southwest event in Austin, Texas. Professor Hosington is the recipient of the Microsoft Most Valuable Professional Award in Computer Programming. Warm greetings, Debbie Schaefer, founder, Audacious Admin, and then it gives her contact info. Corinne answered later in the morning saying, Debbie and Carole, well, first of all, Debbie, great to hear from you. Wow, this is so stupendous. Carole, so nice to meet you. In Panama at the moment, but really enjoyed seeing your VR channel. Really fun, engaging big cats, 3 exclamation marks. I am a contractor for Microsoft and HTC Vive, both working in VR and AR all over the world. I could introduce you to some developers who could make the experience into a Steam interactive app. We must talk when I return next week. And then she gave her contact info. If you're enjoying my diary, please like, share, and subscribe. You can find other ways to connect to me over at bigcatrescue.org/Carole.Baskin.